Boyfriend's perspective: I just caught my boyfriend with another girl and now he wants to break up. How do I win him back? Hi, this is the cheating boyfriend. My girlfriend Becca and I dated all throughout high school. At the end of our senior year she decided to break up with me so she can explore her options and live a college lifestyle. I obviously was upset with this because I thought what we had was enough, but apparently, she wanted to go into college without a burden. So freshman year I made a lot of new friends and discovered new hobbies of mine. When sophomore year came around, I felt like a new person. I had no idea she planned on transferring until the day she showed up. Within the first week she had already made plans of getting back together. I told her I needed time and she respected that. After a while I was getting lonely and I guess the familiarity of her brought back memories and we decided to make it work. She always hated feeling left out and I guess her reasoning for being like this was that she missed out on a whole year and wanted to catch up to me. She got attention from guys and reveled in this fact, bringing it up any chance she got but ending it with, "But don't worry, I wouldn't do anything." I started to understand that the breakup in high school was so she could hook up with other people without feeling guilty. She went to a small school and I believed that by the time the fun wore off, she wanted to go back to a stable relationship. I admit, I shouldn't have stayed away but I guess I got used to the stability as well. One of my new hobbies was working at an animal shelter. I usually go once or twice a week in the mornings to help out for a couple of hours. One of the other volunteers, Audrey, is the girl at the restaurant. I do not know this girl other than working with her once a week. I know she's 19 and know that she likes cats and that's about it. On the day of the whole restaurant scene, I found Audrey crying in the break room having a breakdown. When she could finally talk, she mentioned that her ex-boyfriend showed and demanded to speak to her. From what she said, he was not a good person and partner and often laid hands on her. She told him to not come near her, and he showed up at work so she would freak out in public. I offered to distract him so she could leave but she said she cannot drive and her brother dropped her off but he was at work. I offered to drop her off somewhere and she said yes. Another thing Becca did not mention, I also work at the restaurant where we went. It was a pretty slow time there so we sat at a booth so she could compose herself. She was very apologetic and obviously very upset. My manager said we could stay as long as we wanted until Audrey was okay. Around this time Becca stormed in. She claims she does not remember what she said but I do. There were a lot of gross accusations thrown at me and the things she said to Audrey were straight up evil, calling her a lot of names as well as making fun of the bruises on Audrey's wrists and chin. She went on for a while despite me telling her to stop and only did when Audrey got up to leave. She was still distraught from before and on top of Becca, she looked terrified. What should have been a way for her to calm down and receive support turned into a screaming attack from someone she doesn't even know. The second Audrey was gone, Becca became very calm and started saying stuff like, "Babe, we need to talk." I didn't like this. I agreed to speak somewhere else only because I thought I was going to get fired and I was so embarrassed. On the way there, I felt like I had a midlife crisis. I realized that this was just the breaking point. For the whole time we were together she would obsess with cheating. She was always nervous I would cheat or if a guy spoke to her, she assumed he was cheating on his girlfriend by talking to her. I don't know if it was projecting or some type of disillusionment but I realized I could not keep doing this with her. On top of that I was upset with what happened with Audrey. I don't know where she went after that and I have no way of contacting her. At her apartment I told her I couldn't do this anymore. I was done with the relationship and did not want her in my life anymore. I went into detail saying that what she is doing is not healthy and for a while now everything she does has been wearing me down. Still, she accused me of cheating and everything else she wrote. This is where I called her delusional and left.